We've been on a wild ride, haven't we? Since the Karmelo Anthony trial from a year ago with the stabbing, the killing, the murder of Austin Metcalf, and then watching this trial, and then just wow. I'm back in my home studio. I was on the road, and it was quite amazing to have it all go down and to be with you and to be able to talk to you from Minnesota, where I was for like 4 or 5 days. We laid my wife's father's ashes to rest. He passed away about 8 months ago, so it was a good thing to be able to do, and God bless Minnesota, rural Minnesota. We were over at Uncle Woody's house, my wife's uncle. We shot 12-gauge shotgun. We shot 22s. We had a lot of fun shooting off, as we always do, on Uncle Woody's porch. He's on about 120 acres in rural Minnesota. God bless the folks of rural Minnesota. Karmelo Anthony. His granny is calling it racism. Give, Send, Go is yanking their fund that they have to get money. And there's a petition that these race hustler idiots that are believing that Karmelo was some kind of a victim. Jazzy Crockett embarrasses himself. Karmelo checks into jail. And all that coming up in just 1 second. This show is brought to you by IRSprob.com, IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS audits, IRS controversy, and tax planning strategies. By the way, every morning this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm on 110 stations for Premier Radio Network's Your Morning Show with my friend Michael Deljoner, filling in for him. And so check me out, 5 to 8 a.m. Central, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern. Karmelo Anthony, let's look at his booking picture first. It's so fun to look at his booking photo at the jail. You are now in the big boy prison, Karmelo. You know, it's very sad, isn't it? Seriously, looking at that photo. He's a conflicted guy when you look at that. I'm being serious. He's a conflicted guy. He's half of a murderer thug and half of a innocent kid, but he did what he did. And now he's going to jail for 35 years with good time, 17 and a half years. You know, I wonder if we hear from the jury, but there he is in his new booking photo at the state prison. He's done. He's a murderer now. What was I going to say? It'll come back to me in a second. Oh, yeah. Well, I wonder if one of the jurors are going to speak out. They probably don't want to because they'll be attacked and death threats and vilified. But I wonder if they gave him 35 years knowing he'd be out in 17 and a half, which is probably the exact age of Austin Metcalf, because they were both 17. Very interesting to think about. I don't know if it's true. Also, don't believe the lie from the race hustlers and the Democrats and the lunatics like Jazzy Crockett that are making it all about race. The jury was Indian, as in India, Asians, Hispanics, and whites. So this idea that it was, no minorities on there. But here we go. This is the sad destitution, the sad state of Karmelo Anthony and his family's affairs as of today. It's all collapsing. Karmelo Anthony's lawyer are filing for a pauper oath appointment of attorney on appeal today when they filed their appeal. It's a document that declares financial destitution. That's right. Karmelo Anthony and his family are financially destitute. They don't have that money to burn through anymore to buy a nice house or rent a nice house or cars or whatever the allegations are. I don't know. The document declares their financial destitution and requests a court-appointed legal representation. He is now in the Wallace Pack unit near Navasota, a medium-security prison 30 miles southeast of College Station. There he goes, the murderer Karmelo Anthony. His GoFundMe, or Give, Send, Go, actually, is the company they used. His Give, Send, Go is saying is shut down. You cannot donate to him anymore, God forbid if you'd want to. But his Give, Send, Go has been shut down, and he might be able to set up a new fund if he seeks an appeal, but it's been shut down, and any money that came between when he was convicted of murder and till when they shut it down today is all going back to the people. Any of the idiot, fool, stupid people that wanted to give him money for being black while murdering somebody will get their money back. So what was spent and what was out of there is done, but once the conviction, can't take any of it. It's given back. On his appeal, he might be able to do another give, send, go, but depends on how they apply and how that goes. If they do, I'm sure they will. Karmelo Anthony, you want to know where it came from? His rage, his anger. Karmelo Anthony's grandmother, look no further. This is so vile. A granny saying vile things, saying racism. Look at this. How sick this woman is. This is who raised a family of victims filled with rage and racial animus. You see that grandma, that foolish, vile, race-filled, racial hate-filled grandma. Hey, grandma, you raised a daughter or son who would raise a murderer, and there you say racism. How about you teach your son and your daughter-in-law and your son, your grandson to love, not to hate.
Racist, bias, How we got here? A white person to hit a black boy and get away.
That's it.
And you're going to hear this grandmother drop the F word. Like, this is so sick.
Yeah.
Whatever the F they want, she said, look at that vile racial hatred and hate-filled grandma. How sad.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
It ain't the end of the road.
And these sad, sick people, we love y'all. They're like humping your leg.
We love y'all.
That's his uncle.
Racist, biased, they're yelling. You would think it's like King Charles or Queen, whatever her name is, Camilla, whatever, coming to the parking lot. What's wrong with these folks? They're so sick and so sad. So that's the grandmother in her, quote, luxury car, says New York Post, in her Acura sedan. Matt Walsh, very talented, podcaster, etc., says, this is so devastating. Imagine being a black parent tonight. How do you protect your children? In fact, hold on. Here's what one lady said. You've seen this one by now, right?
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this right now. I
can't walk away no more. Karmelo didn't walk away. He was told 15 times to get out of the tent, and he murdered Austin Metcalf for telling him to get out of the tent and pushing him or shoving him. Matt Walsh says, rightfully so, he says, this is so devastating. Imagine being a black parent tonight like that lady. How do you protect your children? If they go out and stab just one person, they might go to prison. It's like a black man in America can't even murder anyone anymore. Unimaginable. Jim Crow all over again. I'm furious. I love that. As I mentioned, Give, Send, Go yanked their support. They unpublished his fundraising. And now here we go. This also came out. There's a launch. Supporters launched a change.org petition calling for the arrest of Austin Metcalf's brother. You murdered one, now you want to arrest the other. These people are so sick and morally bankrupted. Bass-ackwards. They have fewer than 50 signatures, but there's a petition saying that Hunter Metcalf contributed to his brother's death by allegedly assaulting Anthony. As a member of the black community in America, I can't even read this, I'll laugh at these idiots. As a member of black community in America, the ongoing injustices we face daily have reached a tipping point. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. I do want to go over the material facts of the case quickly, but very importantly in just a second. Witnesses further stipulate that Austin Metcalf's brother Hunter did not bully or gang up on Anthony either. It was kind of like the truth on that. But they're saying that Hunter did something wrong or he should be arrested. These people are just so far gone. We're going to get into the facts of the case in just 1 second, if you missed it. But here we go. Jasmine Crockett suggests she also would have stabbed Austin Metcalf in stunning defense of Karmelo Anthony. Yes, Jasmine says even she would have stabbed him, downplaying the size of the knife. holding her thumb and forefinger about an inch apart, saying, you know, it was nothing. And she says, if a 300-pound man is beating me, like on top of me, beating me down, I'm not limited to fists, implying she too would have stabbed him. Well, he was not 300 pounds. He's 200 pounds, and he's only 38 pounds more than Carmelo Anthony, and only 1 inch taller than Carmelo Anthony. So there was no big difference. There was some report I had earlier that had much different discrepancies, but that's not what this report in the New York Post says today. Let's go to Jazzy and her greatest hits. This poor. I don't think she's stupid. I think she says this on purpose to get a rise out of idiots like these people we're seeing in the video, the parking lots, and Carmelo's grandma and parents.
Also, I mean, can we just be real about this? Like,
can we just be real about this? Do you talk like that? You didn't talk like that when you were running for Congress the first term.
Who was? I mean, like, why are you rolling up on somebody and being like, "Get out"? Like,
Correct.
This is, to me, this is the culture that is being instigated, mostly because of like, you know, y'all know how we say on the internet, don't let your president get you fucked up, right? Like, because people get bold. They get real bold with us right now, like, you know, and this white
rolling up on you. You're in this tent. You're told to leave 15 times by multiple people. You don't leave. You got a knife in your pocket, in your backpack, which an Ozarka trail knife, which is like $10 at Walmart. The blade's, I think, about that big or something like that. I don't know. He pierced the Austin Metcalf's bone, his sternum, went through it, and put a gaping hole in his heart. It's a sick murderer, and this chick, she is acting. She is not this stupid. She is absolutely acting. She knows what she's doing. She's playing like she's from a ghetto or something like that. It's not who she is. She's playing a role to the lowest common denominator, bottom dwellers. And that's all she can do now, I guess. I don't know.
In this replacement theory crap that they on and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, we the victim. Because the fact that, you know, any kid would feel like it makes sense to walk in and see this particular kid. I mean, we've all interpreted that there was a race component to this.
Yes.
And be like,
the defense said there was no race component. Carmelo's defense said there was no race component. And there were several black students that testified on Carmelo's behalf, saying that it was Anthony that was the aggressor. And she just lies. Intentional.
oh, yeah, it's raining, but get out. Like, why? Like, why?
Exactly.
Because the coaches tell them all the time, say, keep people out of your tent that get stolen. We don't want other it's like their locker room. Everybody knew this. I guess you are either lying, even though you read the articles, or you didn't, and you just opine like an idiot. I don't know.
Black women, especially black women who have black male children, live in fear and agony every single day.
Karmelo had to bring a knife because he lives in fear and agony for being black. Agony. Agony.
A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have just some real conversations about race in this country.
Mm-hmm. Fear and agony. Just because you're black. Wow. Fear and agony. Those darn Metcalfs.
35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know.
Some random kid. 15 times. Now, I'll go over this now because it seems relevant. Some of the words that he used. I'm not leaving. F y'all. He said the full words. Y'all a bunch of P words. Y'all not going to do nothing about it when he was asked to leave. And then also, I'll beat your ass. You're not going to move me. You're a bitch. All this kind of stuff. And here she is with her fables.
By some random kid that he didn't know who was larger than him. Listen, a lot of people don't know what it is to live as a black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this black boy said that I was scared, or the fact
He was so scared when he yelled all those things. He was so scared when he yelled, I'm not leaving, F y'all, y'all a bunch of P words, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. He was scared when he said, I'll beat your ass. He was scared when he said, you're not gonna move me, you're a bitch. He was very scared. Those are the words of a scared young little boy who's just terrified. Absolutely. Great job, Jazzy. This show is being brought, and by the way, coming up next, I'm gonna give you the specifics. I will give you the specifics on the case that are very important from the several days of witness testimony. I have simple, quick things you must hear about how bad this whole thing was and how guilty Karmelo is and why he's a murderer. But first, this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com, IRSPRB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Look at how successful Randy Martin and his wife Norma are. Here is Randy speaking at UT Austin with the students there. He was asked to come speak. And we also have Randy and me and the whole team about 10 years ago almost. We got Ray, we got George, me, and Randy. So they've been my CPA. He's been my CPA. That's been the team behind my accountancy and everything, my tax planning. And boy, after my first year of being on my own business, they kicked butt and took names for me. They exceedingly surprised me. I was extraordinarily happy with some news the other day. So I want you to use IRSprob.com if you have IRS problems, if you have a death in the family, there's some tax issues with that. If you have a business and you're behind on your taxes, or you need tax planning strategies and you don't have problems but you want to plan, at Randy Martin from IRSprob.com is your guy. Call 214-214-3000. That's 214-214-3000. And guess what shirt I'm wearing today? Due West Foundation and Plumbing. If you want the best, call Due West. Every single piece of plumbing in this house, every single foundation issue in this house has been taken care of, including issues around the house that could mess with my foundation, has been taken care of by Jim Dutton, the host of Texas Home Improvement, and his team. He owns Due West Foundation and Plumbing with his wife, Mary. My wife worked there for 3 years. So they replaced 17 feet of plumbing underneath my house that went bad under my slab foundation. They did the foundation work after that because you can't just shove the dirt back in. It's not going to go back the way it was. They did root shields around my house to protect my foundation from roots under the house that suck away all the moisture and destroy your foundation. They've done grading in my yard, all the plumbing, water heater, you name it, everything. So, and they do concrete leveling. They do retention walls, plumbing, and foundation. Due West Foundation and Plumbing. Call du-west.com or go to du-west.com. That's du-west.com. du-west.com, or call 972-406-0912. That's 972-406-0912. You have a plumber, you have foundation, you have all this now from Due West, and you can trust them because they're the best, and I use them and have for, like I said, over a decade now. All right, tell them Chris Crock sent you to both Due West and IRSprob.com, of course. Okay, here's what you have to hear about this case that you probably didn't hear. That's very, very, very important, okay? I culled specifics from so much in this case. The reason why Karmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf is because Karmelo Anthony was filled with rage, or is filled with rage, hatred, victimhood. And remember, his family said, we moved away from Baton Rouge, we escaped, we left Baton Rouge for a better life, they said. You brought Baton Rouge with you. You left your problems, but you think you can leave your problems behind? No, your problems moved with you, Mom and Dad and Karmelo. Mom and Dad, great job. You raised a guy filled with rage and hatred and racial animus. Shame on you, parents. And how disgusting the queen of the family, the grandmother, is saying those vile things that I played for you earlier. How sad. And of course, they showed the real character early on when they enlisted Dominique Alexander, the bottom-dwelling, poor man's excuse for, a race hustler. They showed their colors, the true colors, playing this bottom-dweller, racial animus, racially aggrieved story. Okay, One of the witnesses said that Carmelo Anthony was asked to leave the tent 15 times. Carmelo Anthony's a man-child. When he was arrested, he said to the cop, "He put his hands on me." Karmelo said, "I'll beat your ass," underneath that tent. Separately, Carmelo Anthony challenged Austin Metcalf to a fistfight, saying, and Carmelo Metcalf said, "I'm not going to fight at a track meet." This is an angry, rage-filled guy looking to beat somebody up, and he murdered Austin Metcalf. Also, one of the witnesses recalled Carmelo Anthony saying, "If you're not going to move me, you're a bitch." And this witness told jurors Austin Metcalf was defending us. Another thing that Carmelo Anthony said is, "Y'all are ass." So he's under that tent, refusing to leave 15 times and threatening. He also said, "I am not leaving. F y'all," full word. "Y'all a bunch of P words," full word. "Y'all not going to do nothing about it," when he was asked to leave. He literally brought Baton Rouge with him. He really brought Baton Rouge, the crime, the vileness, the hatred, the racial animus. Then he has his backpack on. He takes it off, places it on his own lap, and Anthony put his hand in the backpack, and that's when the stabbing occurs. The witness also said that Austin Metcalf was calm. Austin didn't deserve what happened. Prosecutor says it was murder. What happened, right? Witness says, "Yes, sir." The prosecutor asked, was Anthony provoking? Was Anthony the aggressor? Was this self-defense? Excuse me. The witness said, yes, Anthony was provoking. Anthony was the aggressor, and this was not self-defense. Anthony committed murder. Another young witness said Anthony was provoking Metcalf. Bill Worski, the prosecutor, asked the young man on this particular witness, if he had thought the stabbing was self-defense. No, the witness replied. Why? It's lethal force against non-lethal force. Also, the defense's theory, as absolutely pathetic and ridiculous as was, the defense's theory was that Metcalf impaled himself on Anthony's knife. Yes, Austin Metcalf impaled himself on Carmelo Anthony's knife. Can you believe that? That was their pathetic excuse. When the prosecutor, Bill Worski, had a picture from the autopsy of that hole in the heart, and he blew it up to a poster size and showed the jurors, that's when they gasped. They saw the massive hole in his heart from what Carmelo Anthony did with his rage and his animus that his parents raised him up to have. Also, the knife that they showed had bone and blood still on it afterwards. I mean, you talk rage and murder. Here he is. Here's the face of Carmelo Anthony, a young black man filled with rage, racial animus, and hatred, whose grandmother would yell, "Racism, racism, racism." How sad. How sick. Another witness that was called. The defense called a witness, and they said, why would he provoke a fight with a kid so much bigger, 38 pounds and 1 inch? Why would he provoke a fight with someone so much bigger, with a twin so much bigger, with the other teammates there? And you know why? Because he was armed, because this guy, Carmelo Anthony, was armed with a deadly weapon. That's why. The witness did say it's not about race as much as people on the outside want to make it. For the defense said that. Whoops. So, yeah, that's what we had there. What else do I have to share with you? Austin Metcalf's twin brother delivered a stinging 6-word rebuke to Carmelo Anthony. Eventually, your name will be forgotten, he said. My brother's memory will live on. I think I shared with you what came out yesterday. I may not have shared with you. I'll do it now. Austin Metcalf's dad screamed at Carmelo Anthony and said, "You stabbed my son in the chest and kill him, but you can't look at me. Look at me," he said, and he unloaded on him. It was fantastic the way he unloaded on him. I wish we could hear it, but they didn't allow recordings in the courtroom. Prosecutor Bill Werski and Collin County DA Greg Willis spoke today to Fox News in depth. And some of the stuff they shared, there were 17 eyewitnesses. It was a very diverse group. We know there were several African-American kids that testified in there. They're minors. They're high school students. That's why one of the reasons the judge barred cameras and recordings. They wanted to protect the minors' identities. Asked if there were moments when the prosecutors knew they won. They said, yes, I think when the jury finally saw the videotape. And that would be the videotape showing that Karmelo Anthony was the aggressor, that Austin Metcalf there was no bum rushing. There weren't people surrounding him. Hunter Metcalf wasn't involved. They saw that Karmelo Anthony was not surrounded, which if he's surrounded by a bunch of people and they're attacking him, that's where deadly force might be justified. But there was nobody there. Also, the parade of eyewitnesses, they all saw it the same way. Austin was in the right and Karmelo was in the wrong. The second witness stood out as a key piece to winning over the jury, Werski said. He described the young man as calm, cool, and collected. I think what stood out about his testimony is when I looked over there and saw Karmelo Anthony, he was staring off in the distance, but he looked like a man who had a plan that was fixing to do something, the witness said. And I thought it spoke volumes about the jury to what Karmelo Anthony had in his mind. Again, the witness said he looked over there and saw Karmelo Anthony staring off into the distance, but he looked like a man who had a plan that was fixing to do something, to murder Austin Metcalf. Maybe he wanted to provide his street cred, being from Baton Rouge and being filled with rage and hatred and racial animus. Well, you played a big man's game, Karmelo. Now you're going to jail with adults for almost 20 years with good time served. Just got my insurance check in the mail to sign and then send out to my mortgage company, then go to my friends at Blue Ribbon Roofing because they are the best and they are doing my entire roof. They're also going to do the screens on my windows that are damaged, some of the siding stuff that's around certain areas that was pinged, the entire roof, also decking. Blue Ribbon DFW and my friend from Blue Ribbon DFW right here, John Hopkins on the right, his wife Tish right there, and then Jenna and on the left, along with her husband Trevor. He's the son of John and Tish. They literally do it the right way, and that picture shows them winning Best of McKinney. They win Best of McKinney year after year after year. They're A+, Better Business Bureau rating, and they've got Angie's List, their top. And they have like 5 stars out of almost perfectly 5 stars out of 5 stars on 2 different areas, 2 different reviews. One's got 500, another's got about 500. It's through the roof. They've been in business for 32 years, and they are the best. But my decking was not into code. And when you replace a roof, you have to be in code. Guess what? My last roof replacement was 7 years ago. They didn't replace the decking because they didn't know what they were doing. They threw a roof on it and left. That's the difference between Blue Ribbon Roofing and others. So what I want you to do, and here's John and I on my roof. He was showing me where John and me on my roof.
See that white line?
Yeah, what is that? He's showing me what's going on with my roof. Certain areas that are a little messed up and damaged.
See that white line?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the fiberglass mat underneath the shingle, meaning all the shingle's gone. Now you're down to the fiberglass mat.
I never would have recognized any of this or noticed it.
Of course you wouldn't. It'd be like you handing me your microphone. I don't know anything about it.
Do you want to do a show for me?
I don't know anything about it.
That's it. We have a lot of fun together. There is BlueRibbonDFW.com is where you go. BlueRibbonDFW.com. They are doing my roof, and they are the best. Go to BlueRibbonDFW.com and tell them Chris Kroc sent you. And by the way, I do USA Insurance, and they're the best, and tons of USA business, and that tells you a lot about them as well. All right, so let me get into this. I hate these kids on these. I hate these electric scooters and bikes. Well, finally, the cops caught one of these teen punks in Keller. They were chasing him around. They got away, but not in Salina. They just nailed the juvenile. He wouldn't stop. He got away on his electric motorcycle, but eventually they investigated and they arrested this juvenile for evading arrest or detention with a vehicle. It's a felony. Fleeing is a felony. Can place the rider, officers, and motorists and pedestrians at risk. The electric motorcycle is seized, and he's been cuffed and stuffed. Salina police, where this happened, reminding parents and guardians that many electric motorcycles and motorized dirt bikes are not legal to operate in public. Good, good, good. Nail them. Nail those rascals, those punks. And parents, what the hell's wrong with you buying these things for these kids? Just sick. Someone's gonna die on a chase too, and they're gonna blame the police. It's not. It's the parents for getting these things for these minor kids. Never would I let my kid have one of those. Dallas World Cup's coming. World Cup's coming. My Uncle Ron's coming with his whole family. Big family. 3 kids, all adults now, and grandkids and everything. We're going to have a blast when he comes here. They're going to some of the games, obviously. But this from the Dallas Morning News about homelessness. They're giving citations, increased citations to get the homeless off the streets. We hosted the last World Cup matches in '94. Homeless residents sued the city. So look for that getting cleaned up and moved out. Also, Trump, the left was attacking Trump with the NBA Finals and going there. But guess what? Trump delivers the best NBA Finals Game 3 viewership since 1998 in 28 years. The most watched Game 3 of any NBA Series Final since 1998. How about that? Also, fans left stunned by the best national anthem ever. And I want to play some of that for you, if I can find it. There it is. I'm going to jump a little bit because I don't have too much time, but here we go.
We watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bombs were singing. Gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Look at that. That is America. That's not a black national anthem, which is a lie. It is one national anthem. We are one, black, white, and all in between. God bless you. This show has been brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Don't miss me tomorrow morning on, tomorrow's Thursday. So Thursday and Friday morning, from 5 to 8 a.m. Central, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, on your morning show. It's up on my social media channels. You can see how to find it. And there's a link to listen online to all the 110 affiliates, whichever one you want to pick. You can listen in the morning real time. I'll see you on the radio in the morning, actually, in about, 4 hours? 4 hours.